Hi guys, this is Dave Bennett from MOWG-crew.com, and we just came up with the third generation version of the placeholder website, and it is different. It is extremely interesting. It solves problems that we had with the placeholder website before. Everything that the placeholder website has done correctly has been wonderful. It's just for backlinking purposes been worth a great deal. Well, I just created something that I'm calling Universal Affiliate Pages, UAP. And it is really the third generation version of the placeholder website. The concept's the same. It's an instant Moji run in a box, but it's taken into account all the feedback people were sending me and then thinking up something better for the content that goes on the pages. And you guys probably understand what I'm talking about already. Here's the biggest thing that's been going on. People, and here's just an example of it, moji-samples.com. This is our placeholder website. The coolest thing about this was we just tried to figure out how to create a single pitch page where you could plug in any kind of keywords and throw the page out. Google would say yes to the pages, and you could get the thing to rank for keyword combinations that you're after, whatever you want. And that's all fine and good. And the purpose of these pages was always to backlink whatever it is that you're really trying to promote for the keywords you're after. If you want to make yourself show up for one thing or another, this was the idea. Now, this is good because it's done the job. The feedback has been raving. People have been using it and have tracked their keyword results, see that either these pages or the pages that they've been trying to backlink have been showing up all over Google for the keywords that they're after. And they know very, very well how easy it is to get these things to rank. And these things have really taken off. If people put it on all kinds of websites and they show up for all kinds of things. Here's just a sample of the words that come off where people haven't taken out the emoji concept from the page. There's 362,000 results here. And it's just all over the place. It really, really works very, very well. Problem is, it's not very conducive to clicks, of course. I mean, you can read the way the meta tag description goes, and these were never meant to be clicked on, really. They were only meant for backlinking purposes so that you can get yourself up for keywords you're after, whatever it is that you're trying to get yourself up for. And that's always been good. But what has happened anyway is that a number of people have clicked on these links and they just don't know what to do. Even if you put a big picture in here, this site just confuses people anyway. And guys who put these pages up intending to get their destination page ranked in very many cases get this page to rank. And so a lot of the feedback that I started to get was, Dave, it's awesome, it's wonderful. I don't want to detract from it at all because it's powerful. But is there any possible way that we can come up with a placeholder website that's actually conducive to clicks? That actually, because we get these pages to rank a lot, can we come up with a version of this that is good for getting visits, that's actually written in such a way that it intends to capture some traffic here? And when people click on it, they know they're in the right spot. This guy didn't upload the related files into that spot. But anyway, yeah, it's all over the place, just wherever people are putting these things up. They got them up for all kinds of things, right? And people just have been asking, can we come up with a better version of the placeholder website, something conducive to clicks? And along with that, I got thinking maybe there's a way to do it, at least so that people realize they're in the right place, because the wording on the page basically says, yes, you're in the right place. And you know to do something like click on the image to get where you need to go. And the image can be anything you want, but it can click through to anything now. Okay, but the idea was the page should do one simple thing. It should let you know you're in the right place and to click the big image in the middle. And that can go anywhere. That can be a ClickBank hop link. That can be a tiny URL, short URL for you guys using that. If you're an MLM program owner, you can cycle through all your affiliate links so that the pages you produce give an even chance to the affiliates you have who've whatever paid you 50 bucks a pop or 50 bucks per month or 500 at once or whatever it is that you want to charge to advertise on their behalf. But of course, we need a different page, right? This isn't good for that kind of thing. And so I got thinking about it and tried out some different versions and got with my copywriter, and we just were stumped for a while about how to create the content and make it work so it can work for anything. But after fighting with it for some time, we finally got it right. So now I want to show you how a placeholder website that's already set, Moji Run, instant Moji Run in a box. You don't have to think much. You just have to know some basic rules, which I included. So as you know, this is the Moji demo folder, and this is where we always put our placeholder websites anyway, and it's the V3. Most of it looks familiar to you. Most of this stuff is kind of what you would expect it to be. What's different? Exact instructions, step by step, what you do with the CSV file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what you do with the Moji Pro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can imagine, there's two versions of those profiles. One is for project folders. This is where you have domain.com slash keyword, some keyword. And then this is the subdomain version. This is so you can go stronger and do keyword dot domain.com to really niche the organization for Google to be happy with. And both of these exist, so they're up to you. Use them how you will. So we have an index page that goes with its own var sheet. That's for the standard projects, the regular ones. And that, of course, is exactly the projects. That's the profile for that. And you can make copies for all the domains you have, just like you would expect. And then what we have is the index page for subdomains, which goes with the vars subs, right? Meaning subdomains. And those, of course, correspond to the subdomains version of the profile so that you can pump out subdomain runs. Okay? Now let me just show you in a quick nutshell all you need to do. The first thing I want is to get some picture from what I'm trying to promote. Let's just say for the fun of it, it's this right here. I want to promote this page, okay, because why not? It's mine. And I want something off this page that's good as an intro. I want somebody to click on an image on this page that gets them to this website. I don't necessarily want the video link because the idea is that would play a video, but I might want like the header, okay, or a banner or anything else that I can find on the page that makes sense. I might want that, except that's kind of too small, right? I need an image for the middle of my page, and I'm going to show you what this thing looks like. And so I want it to look relatively large. Let me just show you how this works. I can save it, save a picture, and just see how this comes out. Let me just stick it on the desktop, okay, and just kind of show you what's going on there. And what do I have? Is this good enough for my purposes? Okay, kind of, except it doesn't say a heck of a lot. I kind of thought it would take the rest of the information with it. And also, if I look at the properties, it's probably a little smaller than I want. It's about 411 pixels wide. Well, I really want something more like 600 to 800 pixels wide, and I want it to be a little bigger because I really want this thing to catch the eye on the page, and you'll see exactly what we're doing. This is really, really nice. So let me come back here. Now, all right, I'm just going to take a screenshot software, and that's just showing you how far you can go with this, okay? And I'm just going to capture a region, and I'm going to get what I want. And I want something like this, let's say. Okay, something like that should be about excellent. Okay, and that's how it looks. So now I can save that thing to the desktop. I can put it in any format. It can be a PNG, a JPG, a BMP. It does not matter at all. And so I might just leave it the way it is, but I may as well give it a name that's kind of useful. Let's just call it MOWG Crew. That's the name of the thing I'm trying to promote. Promote whatever you want. You'll see how this works in a minute. And so now let me just kill out of this and show you what I got. Okay, I got an image that's bigger and it catches the eye, and I want this thing in the middle of my version 3 placeholder page, which I'm going to show you soon. What do I do with that image? I got to put it in the right folder, right? Because I'm going to upload that folder to the root of my domain, and that's going to be this Moji v3 files. That's all of the index files, right? The related files that make the page look normal. You guys know what that's about. Now, I already did that anyway. I already created this before. And so I'm just going to go off of that to show you how this thing works. So let me just paste to the same place and get rid of that, because like I said, I already created it, I already stuck it in there. And I already downloaded some sample keywords. Okay, that's another thing you clearly need is some keywords. So I just grab some, get them from wherever you want. You can get them from Google or any tool you have or whatever it is you're after. Keywords you're going after. It can be a long list, a short list, whatever you want. Do more keywords as you go. So I grabbed a list of 20. I thought, excellent, these 20 are good. They're saying pretty much what I want to say. And so what do I do now? I'll show you. I stuck my keywords into the file, and let me just walk you through all the things you really need to change, because it's really easy now. And then you'll see what the final production looks like, and this whole thing will suddenly make sense. Okay, there's the name of my image, mowgcrew.png. Again, that's what I put in my related files folder here, because I'm going to upload this whole folder to the domain, the root of any domain where I'm going to put these pages up, so that all the pages can come out looking right, all the images can fill in, and everything like that. All right, that's all I had to do is just type in the name of the file. Again, it could be a PNG, JPG, BMP, GIF, whatever you want. Now here, I just put a simple name for the company, just some company name. In this case, MOWG Crew. Okay, 2 words. Very simple. Just make it look nice and everything else. We here at MOWG Crew is kind of what the page is going to say. Okay. Now I'm going to put the link that I want the image to click to. In other words, if you click the image, where does it take you? This can be absolutely anything at all. That's the beauty of it now. All the time that we were talking about, you have to make it a real web page to get it to rank on Google. Not anymore, because now it's the placeholder website pages, this V3 version, the Universal Affiliate Pages or UAP, that you're making rank on Google for you. And all of those are going to be really, really conducive to click-throughs right to the pages you want. All right, so this can be anything. If it was an affiliate link, you can do that. You can have your AFF question mark ID equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. That can be an affiliate link. It can be a short URL. This thing can be like short URL, or whatever it is, however that thing goes, and then whatever it is. It can be that. It can be absolutely anything you want. Okay, let me just stick it with MOWG Crew so we're not confusing here. Okay, and if you get the hyperlink, just right click and remove the hyperlink. Again, MLM program owners, what can you do? Or guys who are working with their own group of affiliates, you're a leader of your group. You can put in the affiliate link, another affiliate link, another affiliate link, another affiliate link, whoever it is that's participating in your program according to whatever rules you set up, whether they buy in, pay in, that kind of thing for page production, or you just want to help them out. However it works for you, you can do that. Now, so you can put a list however long you want. It can be 1,000 deep if you really want. Of course, you need to produce 1,000 pages to get pages up for all of them. And I would suggest, if you're going to do that, put brackets around here so that literally every page that gets produced will cycle from one to the next to the next to the next. That way, if you're saying you've got 10 of these, okay, and you say we're going to put 20 links out for each, well, then you need the brackets to make sure that absolutely happens. 10 times 20 is 200, so when you create 200 pages, it will cycle evenly top to bottom. Otherwise, of course, it just sort of randomly picks from each thing it goes to. But that's why these brackets exist. Brackets around any of these vars here mean go in a specific order. I'll just take them out so you remember what it looks like on the default version that you got. Okay. Company names. You can call yourself a provider, a service provider, a supplier, a company, a carrier, a dealer, an outfit, whatever you want. If you want to go more formal, you could throw in the word firm, or you could even throw in law firm. It's just whatever you're trying to promote. If you're a dentist, you could put in practice, okay, or dental practice. Anything like that you would use to describe what your company is. You could put website if it's that simple. If you're a opportunity website, you can do that. An opportunity website is fine too. If you want to be informal, you can put in things like crew. We, add our crew, which I do a lot. Okay. Membership site, anything you want can go in there. And so that's why I have it there, just to make sure it carries the right flair and sounds good on the page, looks good on the page, and makes sense to you. Any of this will work for me. These are just the defaults. Get rid of them if you want. Just never leave a blank, right? If you go to delete something, make sure you shift cells up so that there's no blanks in the data. Okay, I'll just put it back. Now, here's what. Get in your geo-targeting vars, whatever it is you want. You don't need to have a comma. It's up to you. Okay, it's whatever you find for a list. You can paste it in here, comma, no comma. So that's my geo-targets. For those of you who don't need geo-targets, you want geo-targets anyway, no matter what. Produce pages with geo-targets. Google likes that, and it helps your web page rank. After all, if you want to take this phrase, make a website, that's your keyword, and you want to get on the front page of Google for make a website, you need a lot of pages that say make a website. The magic of geo-targeting is that when Google sees Seattle, WA, make a website, Issaquah, WA, make a website, Bellevue, WA, make a website, Google says, wow, you have a lot of content about make a website that's different, a lot of different ways of relating to make a website. And so you can eventually earn make a website anyway, and it can happen quick. This can happen in a week or two or three or four. Okay, usually 4 weeks, you get the majority of the keywords you're after if they're not too insane. Okay, Seattle marketing, just by way of giving you a clue, I'm on page 2 now for Seattle, or I'm sorry, website marketing, and we have a client who's on page 4 for learn to blog. These are keywords with literally a billion or 2.5 billion results in the case of learn to blog. A billion results for website marketing. I'm on page 2 for that. We got a client on page 4 for learn to blog with 2.5 billion results. And I can tell you right now, a really big keyword like website marketing took me about 380,000 backlinks, spread across 205 domains on about 150 hosting servers. So for those of you who say, I just want the really big generic keyword, you need to build a lot of content to pull it off. And that's how you do it. Geo-targeting is magical. If we'd have known that before, I wouldn't have needed so many backlinks. This would have been so much easier to pull off. That's what I mean by the learn to blog. The client that does show up on page number 4, and he's been there now for a couple of months. That guy, and we're pushing him up. I climbed up from page 26, and we're pushing this guy up. But they don't have nearly, they only have like 10 backlinking sites. But the keyword was learn to blog. I don't even think they used another keyword. And then they just threw in every city in the US and started pounding out pages. 32,000 cities, so 32,000 ways to say learn to blog. Google loved it because it's 32,000 times however many pages you're creating anyway, because you can have 20 pages that are about Seattle, WA, make a website. Google's completely cool with that. Another 20 about this. And it goes on and on. So Seattle, Washington, search engine optimization. Issaquah, Washington, search engine optimization. Most of you guys know what's going on here. This is how you build a lot of content for the keywords you want so you can earn them. Google doesn't care what phrases you use with it. Make a website video, make a website business, make a website compensation plan. That's all fine at Google. But a magical way to do it is geo-targeting. Okay? So, put in your geo-targets, then you just simply copy and paste that list here. Now, that's all we've done so far. We're almost halfway done now. And let me just review. We got an image stuck in our folder. That's the name of the image. Simple business name. Simple link or links to where we're creating these pages to point to. Whatever we want to call our business, provider, service provider. Geo-target, paste it in, copy it here. What do you think this is? Well, it's my keywords, right? That I got from wherever I got it. And I just copied it. I literally hit copy and I hit paste. And I hit paste again. Okay? That's exactly how I did it with the geo-targets too. I just copied what was in here and I pasted it to here. That's it. There's reason for that duplication. It's just the way the page creates variables throughout. That makes sense. Although these aren't var. Notice they have brackets so they correspond to each other all the time. Still, there's a reason for 2. All right. Continuing. you can come up with a couple of adjective combinations to go after your angle, and all this stuff is covered in the instructions. This is simple. This is just two different ways of using adjectives that describe you. So just follow the format: A great, an honest, A top, and then over here, an outstanding, A cheap, A recommended. The only rule here is don't use the same words in both columns. All right, make sure whatever you put in here is not repeated in here. So just come out with your list, cut it in half, put half of it here. And you don't even need to bother with this if you don't want to. It's already straight the way it is. And then you don't want to say you're in Seattle. You don't want to say you're make a website in Seattle, because then you're also make a website in Bellevue, make a website in Newcastle, make a website in Renton, make a website in Mercer Island. So what do you want to be? You want to be you want to be website marketing for Seattle, for Bellevue, for Maple Valley. And that's exactly the thing. You want to be website marketing or search engine optimization covering Seattle, Bellevue, Maple Valley, or whatever else. You want to be serving, Kent, White Center, and Sammamish, East Renton Highlands. Okay, and that's why that's set up the way it is. This way, no matter where you are in the nation, you don't have to be there. You can be for that region. You can be covering that region, serving that region. Anything that's within your reach, and for those of you selling things nationwide, that means the entire nation. You are for any city in the nation. You are covering any city in the nation. You are serving anyone in any city in the nation, which is the way that setup works so well. Here, you can do what you want for niche. It can be best, top, recommended, finest, leading, great, custom, personal, for things that people would type in as part of their keyword search. If you want to use a different angle so you can say you're the cheapest, go that route. Cheap, wholesale, bargain, special offer. Put those words in instead for your next run. You can always adjust these. There's a backup of every one of these files in a backup folder. That way you can play around with these all you want, do anything you want with them. Save copies of these files if you want for reference with different names. And if you need to pull the backup back out to start over again with the factory settings, go for it. That way you can always start over again with what we had, so never be afraid to change things. Okay, now what do we got? This is for backlinking. This is exactly what you know from the placeholder websites already, where you would normally add, all right, you would normally add your link to the bottom of the page somewhere. I'll just show you something. I had to take a lot of the projects down because there were just way too many. There was virtually 1,000,000 files on this thing. And so I killed most of these projects. I'll rebuild them here pretty quick now that this thing is really up. Does none of them. I think I took all of them off right now, because this is just for demonstration purposes. This entire website has no other purpose than just to show you results. And like I said, I dropped, I guess it was all those. Anyway, most of you guys already know this. Backlinking means what? Let me just bring something up. 800. Oh boy. Okay, backlinking means what? Let me just take somebody's thing, right? Okay, it means you add a link in the bottom that's got the keyword you want pointed at your website. So by putting that keyword in, and it can be for anything you want, and you click it, then it takes you to that guy's website. This is an affiliate's website. This is not my website. This is one of my affiliates' websites. Okay, he put this together using our content generally, but absolutely for the purpose of having his own version of the site. And he might not even be solid with it yet, but he put it out. Okay, so that is what a backlink is, and those things count. Google counts that stuff. And so I backlinked two of my websites, and I backlinked it for my terms. And by the way, that's how I got on page 2 of website marketing anyway. I put my link and put website marketing, and that was like my only backlink. But I was creating all of these pages about related content in all these different geo-targeted areas wherever I wanted them to go. And therefore, 380,000 backlinks later, I'm up to page 2 for website marketing, which is like the biggest keyword in the website marketing industry. Okay, one of them. So that's how that works. So you can backlink any number of things you want with the terms you want. It'll just cycle through randomly. It'll take this with maybe that one, this with that one, that with that one. It's okay to have two websites showing up for the same thing. It's just one per page. It'll just use one combination per page that you generate. So you get all this wonderful, rich relationship telling Google that both of these websites are about these keywords. If you needed to be exact and match just this to that to that, you guys know how to do that already, don't you? Paste, paste, and delete, shift cells up. You just put brackets around them both and match the exact link to the exact keyword. That way they don't even have to relate at all. They can be about entirely different things. Okay? Now what did I do? Menu, this is the last piece. It's the last piece. And there are 10 internal links on the page. That's it, var 2000 through var 2010. This is the last thing you need to deal with, and that's it. What do? You copy your keywords, which of course you had in triplicate here. Just copy a set of it, like so. Paste it underneath the word root. Don't delete the word root, but underneath the word root, paste it. And then what do? Because this is going to be for links, you got to highlight this, and you got to replace all those spaces with dashes, which is done with Control H. H is in Hector. Find what? A space. Replace it with what? A dash. And replace all inside that selection. It's highlighted. And there it goes. It made 40 replacements, and that is 40 spaces to dashes all up in here. Okay? And then what did I do? This is the last piece, literally. And by the way, this can be very long, okay? But I just did 20 at a time because I really want to create a lot of content for these main keywords. I just copied this, the first two, and pasted it in here, and then copied the next two and pasted it in here. That's basically it, okay? Just to make sure that I went clean across. And I got the words in a different order anyway, or whatever I did. So let me just leave it the way it was, okay? And that's perfectly fine. Everything's straight. That's all the work. Now, what are we producing? Watch. Okay, I just set up my var sheet. I put the image in, I put the website in, I put the keywords in, I build up the linkage so that all the pages come out linked to using the keyword combinations I want to create thousands of pages that all point at me. So what in the world are we building? Well, I'll show you. With the profiles, what do I have to make sure I do with the profiles? Right? I'll show you. Up it comes. I'm going to load it. Okay? And let's start with the profiles for the projects, just to make sure you know. Okay, here we go. It's already preset. All I need to do is put the project name I want on the website I want. So I'm using a website called Seattle Website Marketing, one I got. And it's going to be /build websites. This is just going to be the name of my project. And I know I want to produce 200 files. I can produce 2,000 easily. I'm just doing them in smaller chunks. And right now for demo purposes and also testing purposes, this is pretty new, but it's starting to work well. The difference between this and the old placeholder website, if people landed on the placeholder website, they never would continue to your site. You get virtually no clicks to your site. It'd be like 1 in 100 or 1,000 clicks on the placeholder websites would ever go to the destination domain. Here, it's like 95% click through, and you'll see why in a minute. But anyway, there you go. The file count, I'm going to upload it, and where's the path, right? You guys got to understand this stuff to some degree. You can get it from your hosting provider anyway, and ask us if you really have questions. But FTP, it's going there into the public HTML folder and to the same project name, of course. This has to match that. That way the sitemaps use the same folder as where you're putting the pages, okay? And then there you go. There's my FTP username and my FTP password. That's really all I needed. And then I close it. Literally, just save it. And that's it. Now, for the other project, I'm going to do this one too at the same time. And that's cool because I can do them neck and neck. The only difference here really is this has a subdomain that I went into my hosting account and set up already. It's simple. It's kind of common knowledge, and once you do it, it's easy. We even teach you in our training videos. But here you go. massive-websites.seattlewebsitemarketing.com, right? So that's my subdomain because I really want to niche this keyword, let's say. Okay? 200 files, again, upload to FTP, and it's going to go to seattlewebsitemarketing.com. Massive Websites is the name of the folder that this subdomain has been associated with in my hosting account. It's just a direct match. I set up that way so it's easy. Again, the same FTP information because it's going onto the same website. All right, so I have two different ways of running the project files up right now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just run my batch files, and since each of these CSV files are different, I can run them at the exact same time. So watch this. I'm just going to run them, pause, let them run out. It'll take just a few minutes here, and it's easiest if you pull it out of the way because they're going to start right away. And then we're going to go look at the result and understand what the value of this whole thing really is and why this is really amazing, why it matters so much. All right, be back in a minute. I'm going to run off and refill the coffee cup while I wait. All right, those are done running. I came back. Let's take a look at what we did and let's compare it to the MOWG sample site so we understand the apples to apples concept here. First of all, why does Google like these pages? Even when we use the same template on tons of websites, Google doesn't care about the same template showing up on tons of websites. You can get free templates, paid templates all over the internet. People use the same templates all the time. That's not Google's interest. Google's interest is the wording, the content, okay? And so the actual verbiage. And these always were cool because they have variable page titles, okay? They have variable meta description tags. They have variable menus and a lot of menu items on the page that all point to other pages in the same site. And they just do the job right. Everything about the page has solid integrity. Okay, it's just a demonstration page and it wasn't good to look at. Let's see what we do now and compare it. Okay, so here we go. Seattle website marketing, right? Boom. And I created an index page for this just by taking any one of those copies and just uploading it to the root and just renaming it to index, and boom, I have my index page if I didn't already have one. What's happening here? Everything again is variable. There we go. And this, it's the page title. It's conducive to clicks. The meta tag description, view source, same thing. It's variable wording, just like the title is. It's the title. And then the meta tag description, variable wording. So all of these are completely different. And it's extremely interesting to Google, and it's all keyword optimized for the area and the keyword I was after. Everything about it is fine. This is the kind of stuff Google likes, but it's conducive to clicks. This changes, right? That's why I was talking about the word serving or covering or for. I don't want to say I'm Internet Marketing Seattle in Seattle, Washington. I kind of am. But if I want to say Internet Marketing Chicago, serving Chicago, then that's what I want to say. I don't want to say I'm in Chicago. I want to say I'm serving Chicago because I do, you know? And then our top recommendation, that's a VAR too. Okay, it can be best recommendation or whatever else. I got a little call now insert and I've got instructions for how to take it out if you don't want it. Okay, but it's there if you want it. I've got a variable menu here and even the words can change. This is going to fill in automatically and it's going to say the top choice is the company name. This is why we included a company name. It's flatly going to tell you the page is about that company. It's got a little intro here that's completely varred out. All of this is varred out and it's readable and it's not hidden text or anything like that. It's there. You can read it. It's small print, but it's not too small. There's nothing wrong with the page. These can be any words you want, and that's perfectly fine because all your pages talk about these sections here. And so these link to the same pages, okay? Well, versions of the page right here on the same site. There's a couple of outbound high quality links that go out that you can replace with any other ones if you want to be more exacting. A couple of these things literally point off the website, like this one goes to Wikipedia in a new window. And does it have to go to Wikipedia? No, you can put something else in. It's not going to bother anyone. They're probably not going to click this if they didn't already click it up here while reading. But the idea is people aren't really going to read this so much because the page does one thing very, very, very clearly. That this is very clear. Click the picture above for the finest internet marketing service provider serving Seattle, Washington. Yes, we have to use a no follow tag on it because it's really big and right in the middle, but that's how you make it cool for Google. That means that this doesn't work as a backlink, but who cares anymore? This, you just click it, and what do you think it does? Same window, it goes right there. Okay, If I go back, let me just do this. If I hit introduction, Bellevue, build your website, choose MOWG Crew. Again, click the picture above for the best build your website provider serving Bellevue. Again, all the different combinations of keywords. This says Bellevue, that says Bellevue. We got Bellevue, WA, Bellevue, Washington versions of the pages. If I click this, it goes to another one. Renton, Washington, search engine optimization. Top choice, MOWG Crew. Again, click the photo above for the leading search engine optimization carrier serving Renton, Washington. We have all the variations, and all these things are perfectly good that way. They all go through. And if we look closely, we can see that these words change literally. If I click on here and I look, some of the words change. I didn't throw in too many variations, but you can do whatever you want for these things. You can absolutely go just however far you want, with coming up with variations, you know, and that's if you really want to interlace a lot of pages and so forth, and you really want to have variable sections and just include more keyword optimization related wording that goes with your keywords. That just this can be the video, that could be the business plan, that could be the compensation plan, you know, compensation, how you get paid, anything like that you can really put in here. They got to be short words up here. Down here though, you can go further. This can be video, business plan, compensation plan, how you get paid in more wording, things like that. And they all, again, they all click through. Okay. There's alt coding on the images. There's little images here. Whoops. And they have variable alt coding. Experience with Maple Valley. Build your website. Build your website specialization in Maple Valley. Again, it uses the same city that this whole page is about. So Google likes what it sees. It gets the point. Everything is cool about it. At the bottom, I got the link to the main page of the site, and I've got the backlink, and it included the geo-targeting I want. So it says Maple Valley, then it says build your website internet advertising, and I wanted to do that on purpose. And you can take out the vars from the page down here if all you want is internet advertising. It's perfectly up to you what you want to do. It's all covered in the instructions. It's really simple to do. Here goes the sitemap link to the MOWG sitemap. That covers all the sitemaps for every run I put up on the site. Just at the press of a button, I don't have to deal with sitemaps at all. They all interlace, so the Google bots and the Bing bots and the Yahoo bots naturally find all your links every time you produce them. Just hit the button again, and all the new sitemap links get interlaced with the old ones. Nothing ever gets lost or orphaned. They all interlace nicely. And then I got related links for a specialized sitemap that's just the sitemap inside that section, in this case the room. Any one of these pages, and take a look again, the URLs are solid. It's the website and with the subdomain, massive-websites. Seattle-websitemarketing.com. So even the sitemaps use the same subdomain concept for the subdomain runs. Build your website was that project that we stuck in our profile. That was the / build your website project. What's it say? Or in this case, it's what it auto-generated into this section actually. And then we got Seattle, Washington search engine optimization. We got Maple Valley, build your website. Kirkland, Washington, web marketing tools. All the keyword combinations that we want. And if I produced a lot more pages, it would cycle through all the combinations, like you guys saw on the vivodesigns.net example. And then we have best 17 make website option. That's perfectly fine. Google doesn't mind that stuff at all. And that's to make sure we have variability in the pages. And then what do we have? MOWG Crew deliver latest solutions. MOWG Crew supply most up-to-date products. MOWG Crew supply newest services. You can make this say delivers, supplies, provides if you want. I'm sure we're going to have versions of this coming out later that are even more fine-tuned. And for those of you that already know how to deal with this stuff, because you've already gone through the videos, it's simple to do. But for those of you who are new to this, we'll come out with new versions, and you always get all upgrades free. All this stuff happens free once you own the software. It's a piece of cake. So let me get back to one thing I want, and that is the MOWG sitemap. Let me just show you how that went. I had, and that's my subdomain, it's the master sitemap with all of the internal sitemaps for each section that we have sitemaps for. That's one section, that's another section, that's another section. Same with these. Up here, another section, another section, another section. It's 10 total, which is exactly why, where was I? Yeah, why we have these. And there are more because it creates variability on this based on the keywords you add. So altogether, this is wonderfully rich. It's completely organized into sections that Google like. And all of the sitemaps in each case just keep dealing with exactly that theme. Okay, so Seattle Internet Marketing there, that was this one, Seattle Internet Marketing. SEO website, that's all SEO website links. Okay, it's completely cool for Google. Internet Marketing Seattle, all of that stuff is completely the way it's designed here. It's just excellent. And on every master sitemap, you can change .html to .txt, and then when you look, it shows you all of the URLs it generated into all of these sitemaps because it's a master sitemap covering all of these sitemaps. What do you do with this? You can submit this to Google. Go to your Google Webmaster Tools and upload this new sitemap. It's completely fine with Google. This is a good thing to do. And we do it all the time. What's another thing you can do with it? You can open up a new tab and you can go to any pinging service you have. If you have something like Ping Farm or whatever, and then just simply select all, copy, go here, paste all of it in, and hit mass ping. And what's it going to do? It's going to go pinging all your URLs. Okay, and so you can do it for everything you're doing. All right, same thing with the next one. That was this one. Let me go to this one. And again, these are all the individual sitemaps. And this time it's just the projects. It's all www. But again, all of the projects line up right. It's all build website pages. All these pages work. Everything is solid. And everything continues to mean click this link in the middle. We found this format's getting like a 95% click-through rate. Virtually everyone is clicking this because nothing else on the page is nearly as interesting as your big fat image in the middle that can link to, again, anything. A ClickBank hop link, a short URL, anything you want. Okay? So it doesn't even have to be a real web page. It can be a replicated page or whatever else. It doesn't matter. Final thing I want to show you is what does this look like with an entirely different image in the middle pointing somewhere else with different keywords. I just whipped this out real quick for someone I know, Homeopathy, Wisconsin. And this is backlinking somebody else that we know who's a homeopath in Wisconsin. I just threw some of these out to help her, and I found it was helping her rank. Now she's showing up for terms like homeopathy Wisconsin, Wisconsin homeopathy, homeopathic Wisconsin, Wisconsin homeopathic. She's either page 1 or 2 already, and it's just been a few days that this has even been live. But how do these look? Let me just show you any one of her pages so you can get the idea. Okay, here you go. It's the same kind of concept. Bowen Therapist covering Beloit, Washington, our top suggestion. Beloit, Washington, Bowen Therapist, top choice, her company name, the homeopathic alternative. All of this talks about our Bowen Therapist business is the most recommended team you shall find in Beloit, Wisconsin. These sentences are readable. They are actually readable. All of them are readable. Everything down here is readable. All the variables are readable. We got bolded keywords in here. We got linked keywords in here. We got links pointing elsewhere. Some of these links just point to other sections of the same site. It's all there. This happens to be for New York City, New York. Holistic Practitioner, still recommended, is the same company. Boy, this company must be really, really good. Click the picture above for the best holistic practitioner for New York City, New York. Well, she is. She's just an excellent holistic practitioner. She does all her work on Skype, and so it's perfectly legitimate. Let me hit the link, and there I'm on her site. So do I even really have to optimize her site anymore? No. Do I need to include the right keywords? No. Am I trying to backlink her and I need to match verbiage to the individual pages that are best fits for the keywords? No. I don't have to think about anything other than getting these pages to show up all over Google. I can backlink these pages if I want with a regular backlinking run using the MOWG placeholder website if I want. I can make all these pages backlink these pages. Okay, that is cool. I can circulate the backlinks through all of the sitemaps, or I can just have them all point to the main page of this section of the site. And then in her case, for backlinks for her, that section of the site, homeopathy-wisconsin.seattle-website-marketing.com. So you can do this project after project after project for one thing after the next thing after the next thing. See how completely and utterly different this whole concept is, using the same page but for entirely different business structures. And again, I can ping her links just as easily. I can go to her. Um, Let me go back to the sitemaps, and I can take hers for homeopathy Wisconsin, the master sitemap.html, change it to .txt, get all of her URLs, select all, copy, come back here to ping farm, hit ping, paste it in, and just hit mass ping, and here you go. Piece of cake. This is how incredibly fast and easy it is for you to do now. Okay, this is just amazing, and that's what I wanted to show you. Because of it, the price is going up. It already went up again today. We're going to actually reach a point where all the people who are asking us, please limit MOWG circulation, it's going to happen. The only way to do it is to raise the price unless or until we take it off the shelf completely, and you can't get it anymore because we're only going to work with companies. Get it quickly. Don't wait, because the price is going to keep going up. And the biggest reason for limiting circulation is, by now, as you can see, this is just hitting a button to produce pages that make clicks to your website happen for anything you want to do. For those of you serving clients with MOWG runs, this is a completed MOWG run. You don't have to charge $2,500 for a MOWG run if you're feeling nervous about it, but you can take anyone for anything on Google. I don't care if you're doing a search for red bicycles or Mike Filsame's butterfly program. You can take anything you want. Again, a clickbank hop link, just take an image off the page or make one with any screen capture device. And I got a link to this. They have like a 30-day trial. You saw how all I did was draw a square around the picture, save it, and rename it. That's Snagit. You can get Snagit from TechSmith. It's awesome. And I got a link to that in the instructions anyway. So you can pick that up if you want, even on the trial. You don't have to know how MOWG runs work anymore. You don't have to, in other words, you don't really have to study it. You don't have to do completely custom jobs anymore. Just do these jobs and put them out. And you can rank anything you want for any one you want. You can even do a job for a placeholder guy, just a guy you link to, and then when you get him ranking for all these keywords, you can show him if his traffic's picking up. Tell him, hey, I did that as a sample just to show you what I can do. If you want to keep it up, it's $500 a month or $100 a month, whatever it is you want to charge him, depending on how much you think the guy can afford, which is just up to how much does the guy make per sale. If you're doing it for a bicycle repair guy, I mean, they only make like 15, 20, or $40 or whatever, but not much per sale. And there's not a lot of guys in their area for bicycle repair, maybe. And so you can charge them less. Just kind of be kind and understand that. But if you're doing it for something huge, like a dentist, a landscaper, a roofing contractor, a chocolatier, I mean, they have a catalog with 10,000 items with 10,000 different ways of talking about their chocolate. You know how many keywords there are in there? When people are doing searches for gifts that are chocolate, they're looking for any kind of chocolate. I don't know, gluten-free. I don't know if that exists, but dark chocolate, light chocolate. They got ideas for types of chocolate and designs and Godavir and who knows what else. You can throw in all those keywords in the geo-targets where they sell, and you can just canvas whole states city by city and then do another run to canvas another whole state city by city and on and on and on. And since it's so completely automatic push button, just add the image, the link, the company name, the keywords you want. That's about it. And then just open the profile and give it a new project name and a new subdomain, and then just hit the button to run the pages like I did. And you can do it project after project after project after project. If I was in a race, I might be able to pull off 100 solid runs in a single day and have them all show up in different subdomains that Google would like, that are all perfectly organized, that are going to start to rank for all kinds of things. Google tends to see those subdomains as different sites because the organization is so solid. You're telling Google not just a folder name at the end, but an actual subdomain section of your site, like forklifts.directory.com. Well, that's all about forklifts. And then if you had patio furniture directory.com. It's the same directory.com, but now it's all about patio furniture, and Google loves that organization. When everything in the forklift section is about forklifts, 10 to 20 ton forklifts, 20 to 40 ton forklifts, 40 to 100 ton forklifts, however it is these are sold. Big company commercial air conditioning units of different sizes. I mean, these things sell for a lot of money, and yeah, you can create runs for any of that stuff. And when those guys make a sale, they're making 20 grand profit or more, 40 grand profit per sale. So you can charge them a lot. You can charge them thousands down and some amount per month just for maintaining SEO on them, producing new pages. And again, final thing, if you guys hadn't caught on to it before, the final thing that I want to say there is that you can take these batch files and stick them on your Windows schedulers so they run on a schedule every week, producing 250 more pages per site or 2,500 more pages per site a month, or whatever you want to do, 100 pages a day, whatever you want to do. All of that works. And there you go. The price has to go up because you guys are going to start to overlap. You're going to start to compete with each other if too many people get their hands on it. So we're going to have to slow down the release. And the only way to do it is raise the price. It's going to get into the professional territory where it's companies and guys who are bigger players, MLM program owners, things like that. Get in, because everyone who is in, you get all the benefits. We're not cutting you off at all. You're never going to get cut off. You're going to get all the free updates, everything that we put out to anybody, we put out to publicly, then we're going to put out. We have some big projects that we do that we just don't put out, but everyone does. That's why you have the MOWG system. You can create projects of your own. That's the point. But now you don't even need to understand how the software works. All you have to do is what I just showed you in this video, and again, all of the instructions are laid right out. It looks like it's a bunch of instructions maybe, but that's because your first time through it. We just want to make sure you can't screw it up. It's not that bad. It's about maybe the equivalent of 3 to 4 pages of explanation. But this is it. This is like the whole explanation. Even for taking out or replacing the image in the middle with a YouTube video. This is the code you would replace in the middle of the page with a YouTube video. And then just a note, if you're going to do that, you need to remove these two columns from the CSV sheet right here, that one and that one, because they're going to vanish when you take this code out. And those are the only two tokens, those are called tokens, that don't show up anywhere else on the page. But then it's here. You can put it back in anytime you want if you want to use images. But yes, you could put a YouTube video there instead of an image. And you could basically say, watch the video instead of click the picture. And then the idea is the video tells you what to do next. If you want to include your phone number so you get phone calls, do it. If you want to put your email in there so you get emails, do it. If you want to take those tags out, take them out. And if you are an MLM program owner and you want to change the phone number and the email address each time you do the run for a different client, piece of cake. Then just do the run one at a time for each affiliate, where you first just change the phone number and the email address on the page real fast, and then do the run for him. Then change the phone number on the page and of course the affiliate link, and then do the run for that guy. And you can just keep going. I mean, there's no end to it, and you can save copies of all of those files, so you can just keep hitting the button for all these runs occasionally to keep adding fresh content. If I hit these buttons right now again, perfect. I just added another 200 pages to each of the projects, all of the sitemaps interlace, and everything's good. If I want to make copies of these that I use with different profiles, so I make copies of my profiles and just give them names I recognize, like homeopathy, and then forklifts, and then commercial air conditioners, dentists, acupuncturists, chocolatiers. So I can do all these projects separately at the push of a button every single time. Piece of cake. And that's awesome. That's why this is so huge. I want to make sure you guys knew what was going on. Those of you guys who want to get the MOWG system, you know how to do it. Okay, if you've never tried it yet, get the free key. Okay, you got 10 days. You can create, we just have this here, 60,000 web pages free. Heck, you can create 60,000 web pages in an hour. Depends on the speed of your computer. I can do 100,000 in 45 minutes for anything you want. So if you want to interlace a whole bunch of affiliate links, in one huge run for a whole bunch of people. You can do it in a single project and make all of those pages show up in proper categories, and all of your affiliates get this huge chance because their links get linked all over Google from the pages you just created. Okay, that's huge. If you have not seen why this is white hat and you're still not 100% convinced that's white hat, watch this new video we put out here, because this is a very common question we get. And yes, it's white hat. Running the MOWG system the way we do is white hat. And so this is the explanation for that. This really is the best of its kind mass website generation software out there. That's why we call it MOWG, mass optimized web page generation. We got We've got sites that we produced 3 years ago that still index. And for anyone who just wants to see an example, here was one we did in the earliest of possible days just to show. It didn't even Heavenly Wholesales. No, it was Magical Wholesales that pointed at Heavenly Wholesales. It wasn't a good run. It was a run that we did long, long ago, 3 years or so. It says 2009 to 10, it's 2012 now. It was like late 2009 that we did this thing. It's like mid 2012. And the question is, do these pages still index on Google? Take a look. Let's just look. Okay, we go to Google, site colon, that website. Okay, just trying to see. 7730 pages still indexed. We have not touched this run since we did it 3 years ago. 7,730 pages still indexed. They're all there. You can go deeper in the pages and you're still seeing, well, 7710 anyway. Okay, and that's just crazy. I mean, all of this is there. And all these things, click to review the product, takes you to the product, whatever it is. Except that it didn't sell very well. His products just weren't very interesting. They weren't really searched. It was just this crazy list of all these things that no one looked for that we could recome at Great Dane. This kind of a fine art print. It just wasn't selling. But it was an attempt. It was an attempt. And all I want to say is the stuff still indexes. 3 years later, our stuff is white hat, even on massive productions like that. That's it. The image alt tags correspond. The links, the verbiage corresponds. All the stuff is interconnected with a simple sitemap that back in the day just had all of these links on it. Crazy, right? And again, networking cables, he's got numbers and 10-foot CAD assemble patch cable blue. It just wasn't a very sellable thing. Nonetheless, the most important point to make right now is that these pages are indexed on Google, even now, 3 years later, and we never touched this whole site since 3 years. Okay? Huge. That's the power we have now. That's why the price goes up. That's why it's white hat. I mean, we're white hat. And so there you have it. All right. Have a good one. Thanks a lot for listening. I know it's a lot of information, but I think you see the power now. You can sell your services to others. Do it for yourself. Do it for big owners of the program that you have in exchange for a higher commission cut. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it now. And you can link to anything. ClickBank, Hoplink, short URL, any page of any website, any set of pages from any set of websites. You can have your image point to whatever you want, page by page by page. And that's why we have to limit circulation, because now everyone's going to start to overlap. They're going to wind up competing on the front pages of so many different things that are common, no matter what they are. If it's for small targeted businesses like a dentist somewhere, if it's Mike Filsame's Butterfly Network or other internet opportunities, you guys are just going to rank for all this stuff hard and fast and with very, very, very little effort. Just what I've been showing you in this video, and that's it. Okay, go ahead and get rolling and change your life. Just literally. We transformed vivodesigns.net with a concept like that in a month. They started to have to hire a bunch of extra people. Okay, and I went over that in the white hat video there. If you haven't seen about the Vivo Designs, go look. This is just one of the latest runs we did, but we got allowed to show it to people. It just so happened that we could show it to people. It's kind of rare that companies allow it, but they did for a discount. So we got lucky. All right, get in, get rolling, get going. You can create your first projects today. It really is no hassle to get your first projects on a roll, and you'll get pages indexed overnight. One of the runs we did kind of similar to this, 5,500 pages or so got indexed in 24 hours, something like that. These are behind the scenes runs. These are personal things that we do with the software ourselves. But the software, we use the exact same software you do, and we have no more capability than you. That's why all our members have all the opportunity in the world to do whatever they want with the software. Algorithmic changes, we just change our strategies to keep up, but again, we're white hat. So this is the right software, it's the right place, and you got 10 days to try it out completely free to make sure it's legitimate and that all this is true and that you can do it and all that stuff. Okay, after that, get it and get rolling. Just keep at it, because throw enough mud against the wall, you're going to make a lot of money for yourself, your friends, your neighbors, whoever you care about who got laid off recently. Help them out. Pro bono. All right, that's all I have to say. Thanks a lot for listening, and have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you on the other side.